Hi there, my name's John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie it to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the third Sunday after Pentecost. Yeah, because it's the second Sunday after Pentecost. It's because we had Trinity Sunday last Sunday. I say yesterday because it's Monday. All right. Welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons. We're just trying to get this. Just pointing out, I got my Batman shirt on today because it's my, I'm paying respect to Adam West, who just recently died, and the original Batman. So just let you know. All right, let's get on with this. So we're looking at, this is for the Revised Common Lectionary, and we're looking at Matthew and also Romans, Matthew 9 and Romans 5, 1 to 8. And we're tying it into Father's Day a little bit, but I am using the idea of a parent. And because we know, just like with Mother's Day, we know that not everyone has a positive relationship with their own mom or dad, and sometimes a mom or a dad are out of the picture and things like that. So looking at this idea of people that are compassionate in our lives and those who play that role of care and compassion. And the ultimate takeaway from this children's sermon is that we have a God that loves us no matter what, and that our God loves us, and God's love is not dependent on what we do, but rather whose we are. That God claims us, that we are God's children, and that God loves us because of who we are, whose we are. And that in baptism God claims us and says, "You are mine." Pretty common theme for my children's sermons is that God's love claims us because of who God is and not who we are, or rather that God loves us for who we are and not what we do. So that's a better way of putting it. So I'm looking at compassion and that God loves us for whose we are. And the items that I'm playing around with, I've done kind of a similar children's sermon using a Band-Aid, showing compassion, and that when we're hurt, a Band-Aid is a way of doing that, giving someone a Band-Aid, or a Kleenex that when we have tears, or some type of ointment. But I'm using 4 of these together. I'm using Band-Aids, Kleenex, some first aid ointment, and a pair of gloves. And it all has to do with when my dad, so I'm using my dad as an example, but you don't have to. I'm talking about a time that my dad showed me compassion and showed me grace. And the story for me is when I was helping my dad in the yard, and we were moving dirt and gravel. Just a wonderful thing that, at that point that kids want to do, helping a parent, whether it helping parent garden, whether it helping a parent in the yard, but somehow helping. And my dad had mentioned to me that I probably would want to put on a pair of gloves because I was using a shovel, and I didn't. And what ends up happening, as you already know, is I ended up getting a blister. Ended up my hands getting raw, and I'm using. That's the pair of gloves that I didn't put on. But that my dad, because of who my dad is, my dad got the Band-Aid and got the ointment, got the Kleenex for my tears, and showed care and compassion, even though I didn't listen that well. And I ended up suffering for it. That even in that moment, my dad still showed love and compassion for me because of who my dad is, and that I'm my dad's kid, and that he loves me that way. And that God, in Romans we hear that while we were still weak, while we were still, I think Paul uses the word sinners, I don't have the text in front of me, but while we were still weak, while we were there, God loved us and claimed us and holds us in that love. So that's the direction I'm going, that our God loves us for whose we are, and that ultimately God loves us because that's who God is. And so And so there we are. That's my tie. Hope it can be a springboard for your own thinking as you think about your children's sermon. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And if you are a fatherly type of person, if you have those relationships, thank you for the care and the grace that you pour out, and the gift that you give to the generations that you share your love with. So, thank you.